ようこそ臨時出張青空冒険者食堂へ
All right, what's going on, my friends? Today we're talking about Welcome to the Outcast restaurant, and I know it's kind of a weird introduction, but next episode looks litty. So we have 2 episodes left. We have episode 11 and 12 left. We just got done watching episode 10 here today, but next episode looks like where it's about to hit the fan, where we have Dennis versus Vigo, and he basically has blackmailed everybody. Now, through this episode, there's a few things that happen. Some of the most notable things is Dennis's talk with his mom, Jean Blacks. Now, maybe he doesn't reference her. Maybe he doesn't say mommy. Maybe he doesn't say mama, whatever. But that's his mom. You know, she adopted him. And even if they don't, even if he only refers to her as his, you know, through her name or whatever, that, I mean, at the end of the day, that's his mom. So he talks to her and he gets her permission because of the things that have happened to his restaurant. She sees all the growth in him, and she bestows upon him a hint on how to get to level 100. Now, my guess is next week when he's fighting Vigo, he's going to put things together and hit that unreachable level where I'm assuming even Vigo himself isn't at. Again, you guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Now, the rest of the episode was him kind of setting up all the pieces that are going to fall after he had his talk with his mom. So he goes through and, you know, he shows up to the dinner or the dinner or the meal, and essentially he has set up outside everybody who needs to hear what they're about to hear, everybody that matters, from the person who helped him as the attorney, everything else. He gets the bad guy, which was Atelier's uncle, to kind of admit everything through using some kind of power that he had. My guess, he probably mixed something in with the food, and he was using some kind of power to basically make them confess, and they all confess. So they're all effed, including Vigo himself, because he acknowledged that, hey, everybody here was involved in what happened in his restaurant and Atelier and everything else. So he got them to basically admit. So the blackmailing, the proving innocent to guilty, blah, 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 it's a wrap. It's done. So he got to do all of that, and he's going to now face Vigo's wrath, and that's where we go into next episode. Outside of that middle portion of the episode, so the beginning talks and then the dinner itself, was all about Vigo himself. And one of the most notable things is, as Vigo's imagining everything going right for him in life, I love how he continues to imagine that Katie, which is his vice captain, will be by his side as like his wifey sauce. That's Dennis's wifey. And he probably knows that as well too, which is part of the reason why he didn't want Dennis around, is because he has his eyes on Katie herself. And I love how Dennis has surprised him this week, and he'll surprise him next week, and he'll probably surprise him when he takes his girl too. But, you know, I love how his deranged mentalities, he imagines this Katie girl being a part of his, whatever his end game is at the end. The last thing I'll say with the Vigo stuff is it showed us all his backstory. He's basically had a screw loose since childhood, but at the same time, in this world, in his position, being a peasant, being somebody working on farmland, was working for a respectable, good family, actually, who actually valued him somewhat, which is kind of crazy. But regardless, he kind of had this me against the world type view, even though he kind of took it to a level where I think most of us wouldn't. You kind of have to respect it in a way. Now, I don't like him. I think he's a piece of shit. I think he is an asshole and, you know, every other name under the book. But you can't completely be mad at him for being willing to do whatever it takes and training endlessly and unrestedly. Like, the work he put in was, you can't take it away from the man. It was legitimate. Was it a villain's arc? Yes. But you can't really take that work that he did definitely put in. Now, he was that willing to do anything. He was willing to kill. He was willing to manipulate. He was willing to lie. He was willing to sacrifice, right? Like, he was willing to do anything. So you kind of have to respect it in a way. Even the way he took over the silver, whatever, like, fucked up. But he did what he had to do. So you can't completely not respect it. Now, the one coinkadink, the one outlier is his little brother. His little brother ran away. My guess is his little brother isn't as far away as he thinks and will probably come back in maybe next episode as Dennis, you know, ascends and beats him or whatever. We'll probably have maybe the brother come in and, you know, there was some point where he was having a conversation. There was a blonde guy behind him. So my guess is that his brothers had an eye on him. That's my guess. I don't know for sure, but I think he's gonna come back into play. Now, if he doesn't, he doesn't. You know, it could just be he was just there for story fodder. But that's my guess at the end of it. So overall, I think this episode of Outcast Restaurant was really good. I enjoyed it. I'm not one for backstories and backflashes, but I think it was well done. It really grounded and gave us Vigo's motivations, even if we agree with them, like him, dislike him. It definitely accomplished that. And then we had the conversation with 𝐒𝐻 and we had the setup for what's coming next week with Vigo versus Dennis, with Dennis accomplishing what he came here to do. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's all I got for you, my friends. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. If you watched the video or made it to this part, please comment your guys' thoughts. Definitely helps me out and the channel. Haven't been getting a whole lot of comments on some of these videos, so any comment would definitely appreciate. I'll do my best to reply. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.